I think from an analyst viewpoint, it's how can I, or at least a video analyst viewpoint, how can I, rather than being the person that collects the data, how can I be the person that exploits the data? How can I make the most out of the data that's given to me, rather than just be the person that types it into the machine to log it? I think there's a really important mind shift that needs to go on with analysts, and broadly has done across the leagues. But I think you're possibly being a bit foolhardy if you think that you're going to make a career out of just coding games for an awful lot longer, because the technology is just moving ahead, whether you like it or not. And start thinking about those things in those terms. And then the final one for me is probably around more predictive analytics. I think it's underutilized right now. I talked about the example with Sports Forecast about us trying to forecast the results. And I think we should be doing more in that space. We should be looking to forecast more of what we think is going to happen, so that we can start to then make movements and change processes, or change interventions ahead of time, rather than being purely reactionary and, oh, this thing's happened. Maybe it's this injury's happened and we've got to deal with it. Like, what's the likelihood of these things occurring? That's not to say, and I think there's a big misconception in this space, and it's why I use the term forecast rather than prediction. That's not to say that these predictions are going to be 100%. I think a big misunderstanding in this space is thinking that a prediction has to happen. It doesn't. It's about understanding the likelihood of something happening, and then assessing the risks that are associated with that thing, or the opportunities that are associated with that thing. But definitely don't sit there and think, oh, it's going to predict the future and it needs to get it right every time. I mean, to be honest, if that was true, I'd be down the bookies. I wouldn't be working, because I'd be making a fortune on all the results that I knew would happen ahead of time. So even the best models for forecasting are working around 65, 70%. So you're looking at a third of the time that thing that you think is likely to happen not happening.
Yeah.
But the key to remember with all of it is expand it, extrapolate it out over a period of time. If you and a machine went head to head on one particular game, maybe Sunderland's next game, I don't know who they're playing, you might well beat the machine. But if you do that over the course of a season, and all the games in a season, and then potentially all the other teams in the league as well that are going to affect your league position, the machine's going to win. I can promise you that the machine is going to win every time. So I think the future prediction is more future predictions. I think is where I'm gonna place my stall.